From slam dunks to buzzer beaters, basketball has captivated us for generations. But have you ever considered the ball at the heart of all this excitement? It's not just inflated rubber, it's a marvel of engineering. With a unique pebbled surface for optimal grip, the basketball is designed for performance, aerodynamics, and durability. Join us as we walk through the intricate process of how a basketball is made. Raw materials. At the heart of a basketball lies a thoughtful selection of raw materials, which serve as the building blocks of the perfect game companion. Initially, high-quality rubber forms the base structure, providing the ball with its well-known bounce and durability. This rubber compound, often a blend of natural and synthetic types, guarantees that the ball can withstand the rigors of a high-energy game. Next in line are the materials that make up the outer surface, usually a blend of leather or composite materials. Leather, with its premium touch and optimal grip, used to be the go-to material for high-end balls. Nowadays, composite materials are taking center stage, offering both durability and a consistent performance across various court surfaces. To give the basketball its distinctive look and branding, a splash of color and design is added using specialized dyes and inks. These elements adorn the basketball with its iconic orange hue, a color chosen for its high visibility during play, complemented by contrasting lines that help in tracking the ball's direction, speed, and spin. Cutting and stitching. After learning about the raw materials, we now move to the process where these materials start to resemble a basketball. The materials arrive at the manufacturing facility in large sheets, ready to be transformed into the spherical outer shell of a basketball. Next, these sheets undergo precise cutting, often with the help of advanced machinery to ensure uniformity. The goal here is to cut them into equal, symmetrical panels, which will later form the shape of the ball. It's crucial that each panel is identical in size and shape to ensure a perfectly round basketball. Once the panels are cut, it's time to stitch them together. This process is more complex than it might seem, as it requires skill to stitch the panels together in a way that maintains the ball's spherical shape while ensuring it is robust and durable. Stitching is usually done using strong, resilient threads that can withstand the rough play on the court without fraying or breaking. During this stage, the panels are sewn together in a specific pattern that helps to maintain the shape and ensure even bounce when the ball is in play, ensuring that the basketball is not only aesthetically pleasing, but also functional and ready for action on the court. Molding and shaping. This step involves placing the stitched panels into a mold. This mold is specially designed to impart the basketball its perfect rounded shape. The panel, which at this stage might resemble a flattened version of the final product, is then subjected to a process that gives it its three-dimensional form. The molds apply pressure on all sides of the panels, gradually shaping it into a sphere. It's here that ensuring uniformity becomes vital. Any slight discrepancy in the pressure application can result in an uneven shape, which would hamper the ball's performance during a game. The ball needs to have an even surface to provide a consistent bounce, which is a critical aspect of basketball gameplay. Molding and shaping also involve integrating the bladder, an inner component that holds the air, into the ball. The bladder is essential as it aids in giving the ball its buoyancy and bounce. For those unfamiliar, the bladder is like the ball's lung, capable of retaining air to maintain its shape and bouncing properties. Through this process, the basketball is not just taking a spherical shape, but also gearing up to meet the strict industry standards for performance and reliability. This stage ensures that each basketball will provide a predictable performance. Inserting the bladder. This step is like putting the heart into the ball, a critical part that makes sure the ball stays bouncy and keeps its shape during the game. The bladder is essentially a closed container made from a flexible material, often latex or butyl, capable of holding air under pressure. In simpler terms, think of it as a balloon that sits inside the basketball, giving it its bounce and spherical form. Inserting the bladder begins with selecting the right material, which is key in determining the ball's quality and performance characteristics. The bladder is then inflated to a preliminary size before being placed inside the previously formed spherical shell. This procedure requires precision to avoid any damage to both the bladder and the outer shell. Once the bladder is situated correctly inside the shell, it is filled with air to the desired pressure level. This pressure needs to be just right, too low, and the ball won't bounce properly, too high, and it risks becoming deformed or even bursting. The goal here is to achieve a basketball that yields a consistent bounce, aligning with the stringent standards set by the industry. Inflation and sealing. Now that the bladder has been carefully inserted, it's time to inflate and seal the basketball, bringing it to life. In this phase, the inserted bladder is inflated to the exact specifications required for optimal play. This process is not a matter of mere chance. Rather, it involves precise measurements to ensure that each ball meets the stringent standards for bounce and durability. The inflation is carefully monitored, filling the ball with the right amount of air pressure that balances both responsiveness and toughness. Once the bladder reaches the desirable inflation level, the next step is sealing it securely to maintain this pressure over time. The sealing process is crucial as it prevents air leakage and helps in sustaining the ball's bounce characteristics for a longer period. Employing a robust sealing method not only guarantees the air pressure retention but also protects the bladder from external damage, ensuring a long-lasting product that can endure the rough and tumble of spirited play. Through this inflation and sealing process, the basketball transforms from a hollow shell into a fully realized sports equipment, primed to deliver a consistent performance on the court. It's now almost ready to be a part of thrilling matches, helping players to showcase their skills and passion for the game. But before we're going to the next step, slam dunk the subscribe button for more interesting stories on everyday objects. Bounce test. Before basketballs reach the court, they go through a crucial quality control process. Initially, they undergo a bounce test to ensure a uniform and consistent bounce, setting a benchmark for performance. After this, each ball is visually inspected for any flaws, safeguarding the aesthetic appeal and meeting the standards required for professional play. This strict process ensures that the final product is both visually pleasing and functionally superior, ready to deliver an excellent performance during a game. Packaging. After passing stringent quality tests, the basketballs move to the final stage, packaging. This step is not just about protecting the ball, but also about making a strong first impression on the market. Here, each ball is housed in robust and aesthetically appealing packaging, embodying both the function and the spirit of the game, ready to catch the eye of basketball enthusiasts around the globe. This is where each basketball's journey from a collection of raw materials to a market-ready product comes to fruition, promising players a reliable and high-quality game companion.